I be tonight.
Hey Sean, how you doing?
Good, good. I saw your Thanksgiving meal.
Huh?
I said I saw your Thanksgiving meal.
You saw
I
my
think it was yours.
Thanksgiving meal?
Yeah. Was that you that posted the lobster, or is that Colin? Maybe it was
Oh
Colin.
no, Colin was the surf and turf. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it looked like a tasty Thanksgiving, that's for sure.
Yep. At least he's got an ocean beside him.
Yeah, yeah. I suppose an ocean beside you does make surf and turf easier. No, my Thanksgiving meal was definitely not on diet. I have definitely been very bad on diet the last 3 days, no doubt about it.
As long as it is only 3 or 4 days, that's fine.
Yep, yep,
Your body will get over it.
yeah. Working my way into getting a good long fast going.
Well, that's quite the wide angle.
Did you get a new camera?
No, it's the same camera. I just starting to notice that I moved my desk again to kind of make some room for filming, but there.
Yeah.
That's mostly everything out of the way now.
I was surprised getting here a little late that you're the only one in here right now.
Well,
Colin,
I actually wasn't sure who was going to show,
I'm
so
I'm guessing that surf and turf didn't treat him too well. Says he's been ill since Friday and he's not going to be able to make it tonight.
mm,
So no, I had way too much ham, a little bit of turkey. I'm not a big fan of turkey, and
not a big fan of turkey either.
just a ridiculous number of carbs. Mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce, more pies than I can count, cobblers. Yeah, no. We actually did 3 Thanksgivings, so
As long as you didn't have to cook for all of them.
yeah, that is good. I didn't have to cook for all of them. Melanie made a bunch of cobblers. But yeah.
I'm not sure if Lisa's on the road or
I don't know. I was just asking her if she was coming tonight. Says she hasn't been active in 3 hours though, so she may not be.
there's Casey.
Yeah, she said she was gonna miss the first hour, but I wasn't sure why.
Hi, I always think that non-guards class at the same time as this.
Yeah, I thought that might be the case. Uh, but hey, no big deal. I didn't see you in non-guards class either.
I was there.
Oh, I was not
What did you
paying
have
as much
on?
attention as I probably should have been.
It wasn't much of a class.
It was not. It was just kind of a hey, this is the end.
Yeah.
Ride it out.
hmm
So, which ain't terrible.
No. So you guys, I got my video of my like when I send a new client, I'll say, okay, here's the email. Here's the video I want you to watch. I want you to go to this link and answer these questions so I can check your suggestibility and fill out this stuff and send it back to me or bring it with you. How do I make that video embedded so they don't have to click on it? It just opens up to me saying, hey,
I'm not certain how you're embedding it, but most embedded players have a way you can set them to autoplay. However, most consumers don't like it when videos autoplay.
okay, so it's a link.
So, what do you mean it's a link?
It's a YouTube or
Okay, are you using a
I would
WordPress
send it as
site?
a link. Yeah.
it's a G file link. What is
Okay,
that called?
are you using it? Are you using a WordPress site?
It's just going to be an email.
Oh, it's going to be on an email.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when I started, and it starts with, I started to write this out, but it was 12 pages. So I figured I'd make a 5-minute video and just have you bring back the pages I need.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'm not certain without knowing more. If it's just a link, you
Mhm.
probably can't set it to autoplay,
Okay.
especially if it's YouTube. They don't like their videos being
It's not
autoplay.
YouTube. It's just a Google link.
Okay, like it's on
It's
your
coming
Google
out of your
Drive.
coming out of your Google Drive, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So instead of sharing it as a link, you can actually do an embed with it, and then you should be able to set it to autoplay. If that's what you want to do.
I do, because I feel like when I send a Google link, now they can access all my Google shit. And I end up sending them my blood type and my bank account passwords and all that shit.
Well, you should be able to send it. You should be able to share just the one thing.
Right.
So.
What else? So I'm going to see my mom tomorrow for pain management.
You're going to see who?
My mom is going to be a patient, a client she said, I want to work on my pain management.
Good. I mean, if she's motivated, you shouldn't have any problems.
Yeah.
It's my general rule that I don't hypnotize anybody who changed my diapers, but you know, your mileage may vary.
Yeah.
And that goes for like there's just certain interactions that I just don't think work well with family that you know that intimately, you know. But for pain management, you'll probably do just fine. I assume what are you going to do? You're going to do some
Control room off the top of
suds?
your head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Control room. I think so. Honestly, I think that she's like looking for a way to give me money because she knows I'm in the weeds.
Well,
So that's why. Okay.
Don't be too proud and accept it if you need it, and
Absolutely.
you know,
Yeah.
help her if you can.
Yeah. So control room, I could try the arrow, Freddie Jacquin's arrow.
Yeah. The arrow technique is really good. I've seen people have exceptional results with that.
Old pain go away, old pain something.
Old pain to go.
To go.
I wouldn't try to layer all that on. I would pick something.
Yeah.
You know.
I think I'll start with the boundaries and maybe some younger, not inner child, but younger person, younger you.
What kind of pain does she have?
Dude, the fucking pain du jour.
Okay, like she does. It's not anything from an acute injury or anything like that.
It's all fucking made up shit.
Okay. Yeah, you might look into some what is my brain's some forgiveness work, stuff like that, you know.
Yep.
Some content-free therapy.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's usually a big one when there's the pain du jour. I've had a few people like that for whatever reason something got stuck where it shouldn't have been, and you know, it's kind of like in the on position.
She's classic codependence, doesn't remember any of her childhood, but thinks she's fine. I'm like, okay, that's a quintessential fucking sign that something happened and you're traumatized by it.
Yeah. Actually, it might not be. A lot of people, there's a lot of research that shows that most people start forming permanent memories because of trauma. Like a traumatic event is what causes most people to start forming permanent memories. If you ask a lot of people, their first memories are of something traumatic. And that's why, because it. So psychologists, the way they look at it is memory is there to, not so that we have a perfect remembrance of what happened to us and we have a record, but it's so that when something goes awry or doesn't go like it should, the memory is there so that we can learn from it so that it doesn't happen again. And that ties in with theory of why a lot of people's first memory is something traumatic or extreme.
Right.
So yeah, not remembering your childhood might actually mean you had a really good one.
She's
Yeah.
82, the oldest of four. My grandmother was in the hospital for 63 days, according to her, at which time she had to raise her siblings. And the three of them were like, you what? Like they're like, you raised us? What?
Yeah.
So shit happened. She can't go through World War II and, you know, those wars and not have some kind of history, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. So how you doing today, James?
I'm doing pretty good.
You getting
Finally
over
not
that
sick.
sickness?
Yeah.
Apparently
The
you
flu-
gave it to Colin. He's not gonna make it tonight because he's under the weather.
Yeah, the flu this year is bananas. It was hard. I mean, it never felt dangerous, but it was just like, you know,
Ain't nobody
endless coughing and congestion and fever and all that. Yep.
I was just in my messages trying to round up everybody, all the usual suspects anyway.
How come Antonio doesn't get on here?
He may not be in my group.
Ah,
He may not be in my group.
let's see.
It might have been doing me. What I was doing, hitting the wrong link.
What's that?
I was hitting the wrong link. So
Oh,
That happens sometimes.
works better when you hit the right one, apparently.
Apparently. Did all of the Americans in here have a decent Thanksgiving? No major family drama?
no family drama at all.
I got to hear about a
Yeah,
ton of
no.
family drama, but there was none at Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, apparently every one of my cousins' relationships are breaking down and falling apart for some reason. Oh.
That don't sound good.
Well, you know.
You said all Americans. There's
might
like
be for
other
the
people
best.
besides Americans.
Huh?
There's other people besides Americans.
You do know Thanksgiving's an American holiday, right?
Actually, we beat you to that
people other
too.
than
We had Thanksgiving here before you guys had Thanksgiving there.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
October.
Before it was a national holiday.
Canadians beat you again.
Y'all just decided it was a national holiday before us. Because y'all are more gluttonous, I suppose. More gluttonous than America. Damn, there's something to be labeled as, ain't it?
Oh man,
We only allow, I don't know, 30 or 40 more chemicals than your FDA does. So
30 or 40?
yeah, or 300 or 400, whatever.
Y'all, the important ones y'all allow at least. You know, it astounds me that THC is still considered a Schedule I drug in the United States.
Dude, oxygen, for the hyperbaric oxygen, you have to get a prescription.
Really?
yeah.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's the case here.
yeah.
Well, yeah, but oxygen will fuck you up if you don't use it properly.
Well, that's where you make the assumption that the person that's operating the hyperbaric chamber knows what she's doing.
Yeah, there's that, but
Yeah, kind of like taking a hit of weed, personal choice.
yeah, but the thing is, weed is probably less dangerous than hyperbaric oxygen. If hyperbaric
Possibly.
oxygen is not used properly, like I said, it will mess you up.
Oh, well, this is true.
But I've never eaten a whole bag of Doritos after doing hyperbarics.
I mean, I've never eaten a whole bag of Dorito after doing weed. I've eaten a lot of whole bags of Doritos, but I don't smoke weed, so
Yeah.
I'm just saying the Doritos and the marijuana might not have been connected, James. It's possible.
You might be right.
These foods may be more edible, the weed may not be what's making them more edible. That's all I'm saying. Oh,
Did you ever watch that South Park there, Sean?
man, you and your South Park, bro.
I know, I like it. Well, I wouldn't know who not to like if I didn't watch South Park.
Yeah.
Who do we not like? I don't watch it.
I love the concept of South Park because they've literally been trying to get canceled for a decade. They with every episode, their goal is to have the show canceled because they've been tired of doing it, but they don't want to let their fans down. So they just go all out, man. Like they don't hold no. There's nothing they won't go after. And because it has such crappy animation, it can be animated really rapidly. So they're the most like on point, like for what's happening in the world today show ever. So
Yeah.
Hypnosis with Steve. How are you doing today? How was your Thanksgiving and hypnosis adventures? Cannot hear you. You're not muted, so it's oh, no, you are muted.
Not now.
Still can't hear you.
Can you hear
Unmuted.
me
There.
Yes.
Heard something.
No. I
No.
don't know what happened. Heard you for a second, and then you went away.
This must be it. How about now?
There
There
you
you
are.
go. There you go. You figure out which button to push.
It's a damn jobber thing, and it was showing that it was just going to mute.
My wife's been wanting one of them buttons for years for me.
A
Yeah.
mute button.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you could install one with some self hypnosis if you really wanted to.
Yeah, Thanksgiving was uneventful. We went down downtown last night. They had the parade and the snow down on 25th Street.
Now,
in
for you, where's downtown? What city you at?
Ogden, Utah.
Ogden, Utah. Okay.
Yeah. So, but pretty uneventful. We didn't even know it was Thanksgiving, and then I was supposed to be going to Las Vegas. I was going to do interview
Okay.
some people for the program I'm coming up for team roping and calf roping, but I have an operation, double hernia operation right after that. So we thought it best if we just cancel. I've been sitting here and just doing hypnosis stuff. I just put out an ebook on hypnosis. First time I did an ebook. Still working on the webpage. Yeah.
That sounds awesome, man.
Awesome. What's the ebook on?
It was just how to incorporate hypnosis in your life.
Cool.
Not meant for a hypnotist, meant for somebody who
Awesome.
knows nothing about hypnosis. So that's going to be my freebie on my website. That'll be you click here and start collecting,
Perfect.
build the email list and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
So
Joe,
I'm
I
putting,
think you have Spanish going on in the background.
That's
Yeah.
Joe.
Oh, sorry. Let me cut
Joe.
that off. Close
Okay.
that door.
He disappeared. It's a vanishing act.
There.
Back.
That's right.
but staying
The
busy.
Albatrans.
That sounds cool. I'm glad you're getting it done, man. Sounds awesome.
Well, and then we're right after Christmas. I don't know if it's going to be before Christmas or after Christmas. We're going to load up the fifth wheel and we're going to head to Quartzsite, Arizona. Is anybody in here from Arizona?
Yeah,
Colorado.
right here.
Oh, where are you at, Joe?
I'm in Amato right now, just south of Tucson.
Okay, we're gonna be in Quartzsite, so we're gonna be looking to do some stuff down there as well. So I know the guys in Phoenix want me to come down with them. So
What's that?
they all go out and do street hypnosis on First Friday.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
I want to go.
Come
When
on.
you planning to head to Quartzsite?
Well, depending on my daughter, if she's going to come spend Christmas with us, we'll probably right after Christmas. If not, we may leave before Christmas. So the weather is cold enough
Okay.
here that I don't want to be here.
Me too. Snowed this morning.
It's kind of how I felt this last week, but it got better.
Casey, where are you at?
Vail, Colorado.
Oh, okay. My daughter's in Denver now. She's there with Tracy. She's going to the school for her graduate degree where Tracy Gray teaches.
Oh, cool. Where is that?
I I can't think of the name of the school. It's not something on the top of my
Yeah.
freaking. She's going for dietetics or dietitian
That's a good
certified
one.
diet. But she's helping me with my programs as well. And so I don't know if anybody uses plr.me for any
You
of
like
their.
it?
It's very limited. I have the paid subscription. It's limited on what I want to look for. So when I'm doing like I'm doing a healthy weight program as well. And so I asked my daughter because it's not for everybody, right? So a vegan diet is not for a carnivore and vice versa, and everybody has their own opinions. So I'm trying to work around a combined effort to say, here's what can help you use what's best for you. Don't use my diet or Scott's diet or Casey's diet. Use what's best for you. But I'm going to go over the emotional aspects of it first. That's really where I dig in. Why are you eating the way you do, or why are you not eating the way you do? As it turns out with people with bulimia and anorexic, something in their mind somewhere, I believe. Uh, I don't know. And this is just some cases, right? Somebody told this person that you're fat, and that's how they view themselves, whether they are just a
No.
rail, and that's why they go throw up. Or there's that emotional attachment that trigger was there that just said, okay, now that they've incorporated that into their daily life, I eat, I got to go throw up. That's the only thing that's going to make me feel better. It's the only thing that's going to make me look better. Whether it does or not is, regardless to us, our opinion doesn't matter. But to them, that's what their mind thinks. So I'm trying to put all that in there.
Yeah.
So that'll be a tough one.
That's
That's
a
awesome.
lot to put into a single thing.
That'll be a big program.
Yeah, I would, if I were going to go after that market, I would niche it down and go after individual things. But that sounds more like I don't know what you might call it, love the skin you're in program than
That's a good way to put it, Scott.
than
people with
a
eating disorder.
diet thing necessarily.
Yeah, and I never use the word diet. So
Yeah.
Gonna say the conversations I always have never revolve around diet. It's about, like you said, eating right for you so that you can maximize the food value and minimize the extra bag of Doritos. Where's James?
But there's another hypnotist in town, and we're gonna put on some workshops,
Nice.
and we'll go around and we're gonna do from Las Vegas up through northern Utah, or that's where we're gonna advertise and market.
So are you trying to push this through really quick so you can get it ready in time for a season, but before January?
No,
Okay.
I don't do anything quick anymore, Scott. I'm on my time, and
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I sat here and read 3 books this week, and I've been in every webinar and everything I can do, and it's just it's nice to be working for myself, but it's also a pain in the ass because I realize I'm very limited on a lot of areas. So, and that's why I bug you during the day, Scott.
That's okay.
Yeah, how do I get rid of this click, or which, oh, by the way, didn't work for me. So
What was it that you were trying to do?
you showed in Audacity highlighting over 2 clips to get rid of the click in the middle.
Okay.
And we call it zero.
You don't highlight over 2 clicks, so it's whenever you're editing them, you've got to go to a zero crossing.
Yes.
And delete it at a zero crossing so that the audio won't click. Now,
Yeah.
if the audio is still significantly different in volume on both sides of that, you'll still have an audible that'll still be really jarring when you're listening to it.
Yeah. And I just what I ended up doing is just running the de-esser and the declicker in Audacity. Those are
do
plugins.
help.
Yeah, those are plugins. I don't know if anybody out there uses Audacity.
Now that's the Z technique will only get rid of a click that's caused by editing. Basically, if you've got something else that's causing clicks, like is your source of clicks coming from something else? Is it
No,
mouth noise or what?
I never noticed it before until you asked the question, and I went back, and then I had to really, put on the headphones and, start messing things around. And then I did some messing around. I bought some new mics for out on the street. I don't know if you guys use the wireless mics that they plug right into the adapter plugs right into the bottom of my Android phone.
Yeah.
And then you have the wireless Bluetooth mics that go on there. I had the Rode mics, but they're just too big and cumbersome.
Yeah.
And so I just did a test, and it was with a Marissa Tears book. What was? I don't know if you guys. Here it is.
I'm doing the thing right now where you have
The anti-anxiety toolkit. I don't know if you guys ever read that from Marissa or not, or Melissa. I always call her Marissa. I don't know why I do that, but it's such a short book, and it has a lot of good, just a background of NLP in there on how to go over that. And so, but I was like, well, let me make an audio and test these mics out, and I put background music on it. But those mics, I promise you, are not good for making audios. It came out okay. It's not for anybody but me. It's not like I'm giving it away or anybody, but
they can still get you some decent recording, like in the field, compared to anything.
In the field is the key.
Yeah.
So,
but if you're in a location where you can control things, I would definitely go with a large condenser mic.
Yeah, I still use my Snowball.
Yeah, Snowball's great.
Yeah, I use my Snowball in here, but these were really cool. They're just
and it's Bluetooth, you said?
Yeah, this is it right here. And I just ordered them off Amazon. It still has the cover on it, and I think it was like $35 or something. And I'm going to be really pissed in a second because I don't see the piece that goes on to the
You'll
phone.
find it.
So I've already misplaced a piece. So, but it works really nice. I tested it. I left my phone in my office here, and then we have a huge house. So I just walked up to the farthest corners of the houses and just talking to myself. And I came down and I threw it back in there. I was like, holy crap, the audio was awesome. So, and when we're out doing street hypnosis, that's the one thing. If you see me covering, like on my TikTok or something, you see me covering up something with music, it's because the sound was shitty. So,
yeah.
What's your TikTok?
At 123 Focus Hypnosis.
Cool.
Then of course I've been sitting around
You've been
here.
doing your rope tricks, huh?
Oh my gosh. I've got rope all over this freaking house.
I do too, but it's for a whole different reason.
Yeah.
What about you, Justino or David? How's y'all been?
We had a very nice Thanksgiving. We had the grandchildren over for the first time for Thanksgiving, for Thanksgiving.
Awesome.
Because my nephew and my daughter had kids during COVID, and so we haven't had a Thanksgiving at home, and we avoided. We never have the annual Thanksgiving fist fight, so we avoided that again this year. And it was busy. I had actually I had a gig on Friday and a gig on Saturday, and things are pretty good. So in general, going to be busy the next month.
Good. That's you can't beat that, right?
Yeah.
Busy at the holidays. That's good stuff. I assume you're going to be doing some Christmas parties and type stuff. And how much of that is magic work and how much of it's hypnosis?
I'm doing mainly magic. I'm doing a couple of hypnosis gigs, and I'm incorporating more street hypnosis into my strolling. You know, the only issue with that, even, you know, a quick hypnosis, you know, sort of thing takes like 10 minutes, you know, to really get going. And that's a little bit too long when you're trying to stroll around. So,
Yeah.
it really depends, but I'm definitely, going after that more.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
That's good practice anyways, you know.
yeah. Right. Yeah.
You'll maybe you'll get faster at it. Develop
Mhm.
some 3-second hypnosis technique.
Right. Yeah.
What about you, Justina?
Things have been all right. I
Good.
came back from a baby shower earlier today.
Awesome.
But I went to have acupuncture sort of for the first time. I had it done once years ago and I bled, so I never went back.
Oh.
And then someone said to me, "So what if you bleed?" So I'm like, okay, fine. So I went and I bled again.
Man,
multiple
Bob walking into the
times.
wrong part of a conversation, right?
But more
Go
importantly,
on.
how did it make you feel? Did it improve anything?
Did like that day I could walk downstairs where normally like I go one at a time.
Awesome.
So but basically I could tell like there's more parts of my body that is like stiff or doesn't have flow than I thought. So there's like a lot of work that needs to be done. So I'm gonna have a few more sessions and hopefully let's see what happens.
Did they use microcurrents after they put the needles in?
I think he did because I couldn't actually see what he was doing, but I
Yeah,
did.
sometimes they just put the needles in, but sometimes my acupuncturist will connect some of them to like a little. It's a very low current that she runs through there for certain reasons.
Pins machine.
One point, like I felt it go through my toes. So I think at that point he did use that, but for the other ones, I don't know. But he did kind of turn it, or he was doing something, and it was the most painful feeling in the world. But it helped. So other than that, you know, I'm still kind of sorting out what my life's going to be like going forward. So now it's just going to be a time for planning for me. Just
That's good.
plan. Yeah.
That's good. It's great that life is giving you an opportunity to take a different direction and choose it.
Yeah.
Choose what it is, you know, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What about you, Joe? We haven't heard from you in a couple of weeks. You've been MIA, hiding out, working that new job, I bet.
Yeah, part of it. I think last week I was actually putting together a contract for a show for it's a psychology club. Yeah, she's the lady who contacted me is the vice president for the national club or whatever, but she wants me to do it specifically for her school. It's just a smaller show, about 200 people. But
Cool.
Just a smaller show, about 200 people. Yeah, that was a humble brag, Joe, but we'll give it to you. Go for it, bro. You do you.
let me rephrase that. A smaller theater, only 200 seat theater. How about that? Is that better?
Yeah, okay.
Doesn't mean they're going to fill it, but we'll see.
It sounded
yeah.
better the other way.
Yeah. But yeah, that, and she actually asked me to come talk to some of her higher level students, like do a little presentation on, they were studying how the SEALs used mental toughness and stuff like that. So I'm going to just talk to them about mental toughness and like basically use what I know about sports performance and stuff like that. And then I got 2 more after proms, and one in April, one in May.
Awesome.
So
awesome.
So it's starting.
If you're not careful, you're going to end up fully booked.
I know. That would be a good problem to have, right?
It sure would.
Have you filmed any of your shows so far?
One. Well, I filmed 2, but the second one, it was in a bowling alley and it was all backlit, so you can't really see it. But the first one I did, I filmed.
So if you're sharing that with us, that would be fine. The first one, if the second one doesn't come out so well, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's you getting it, man. And what's going on with the fundraiser? Is that still kind of on pause for a little bit
Yeah,
longer?
I don't think they have their stuff together very well. Well, even with my help,
Yeah.
something about the dance studio owner is afraid of the tax implications, which I don't really know a lot about that. But
They're afraid you're going to make them too much money.
I know. That's what I
Yeah.
was to figure out. So it's just a lot of pushback, and I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to try to talk to them until after Christmas. If they contact me, then yeah, after the first of the year, though, I'll follow up with them and see, because they were talking about spring anyway. So
Yeah, well, I hope something does come of that. But if not, it sounds like you're booking some stuff in anyways. So
yeah, I also got a birthday party. It's for, they wanted a mentalist.
yeah,
That's the 17th. It's for 60-year-olds. So
all right.
at a art gallery, I'm gonna get some video of that because I'm sure there'll be some good backgrounds.
Yeah.
Do you have the ability to share that a little bit with us? That show you were talking about?
The
His
first show,
one?
yeah, I do.
Okay,
I'll have to look it up.
that'd be great. Appreciate
Yeah.
that.
What about you, Bob? How have you been? Do you have a good Thanksgiving?
Oh yeah,
Eat
definitely.
too much turkey?
I still have a crowd here. They're still here. My wife made me put this shirt on. Not sure what it means, but I have to put it on. So I'm
What
not a
does it
football.
say?
I don't know. Something Eagles.
Oh,
I have no idea. I can't read
Generally,
it.
we wear shirts just to make sure we're fully clothed, though.
Yes.
No shirt,
thank
no
you.
shoes, no service, Bob.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't put those rules in place.
The Eagles are playing right now.
That's a Zoom thing.
We got a full house here, so it's crazy. But I'm working on a YouTube channel like you are, Scott.
Also, what you putting similar stuff to the stuff you've been putting on Reels?
Yep.
Awesome.
Spent probably 5 hours yesterday, another 4 hours today, just kind of watching everybody and seeing how they're putting things together. And wow, it's a lot of work.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if you want to do Zoom and I look at yours, you look at mine, and I'm talking about the videos right now.
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
No
Yeah, and if there's-
shirt, no shoes.
Oh my gosh. And if you want to help me out at all or whatever I learn.
Yeah, I have no problem taking a look at it. I'm not sure what you're doing to promote it, but I would encourage you to just let YouTube do its thing and not to share the videos out and let them do it. My experimentation has shown that generally just hurts your channel for some reason, like it because it confuses the YouTube algorithm if you send a bunch of your own traffic. Now that may not be true if you've got 1 million followers. It may be perfectly fine to do in that case, but
yeah, like I said, I'm not there yet. I'm just making videos right now, and that's pretty much what they're all saying. Just keep making videos.
That's the key, man. Keep making videos. You'll figure out what hits. You'll figure
Scott,
out
will you
what
let
people
Antonio in
resonate
the
with.
group?
Huh?
Will you let Antonio in?
Yeah. I mean, is he? Yeah.
I think he's trying.
He just needs the password.
Yeah.
Did you send him the link?
No,
guess?
can I?
I mean, I don't care if you send him the link. I can jump on Facebook if he's trying to get in the group. Like if he asked to join, I can hit that.
So.
Yeah. No
Joe,
problem.
where are you at?
There, he's approved. He should be able to get in there and get the link now.
Steve wants to know where's Joe at?
I'm in Ohio.
Oh, Ohio. Okay. I was gonna say your parents must have liked Clint Eastwood growing up.
Oh yeah. Yep. I don't think I was actually named after Joseph in the Bible, and then my last name isn't even my dad's last name. It's my mom's ex-husband's last name.
Don't want to know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a similar situation, Joe. I understand.
Well, the funny thing is, like, so I never met my dad until I was like in my 20s.
Yeah.
And then I found out that his last name isn't his last name. He was adopted. So he didn't really care that I didn't have his last name.
Now, are you incorporating your mentalism in with your hypnosis?
Yeah. So I usually do it one of two ways. Either I do an effect on stage when everybody's in there,
Mhm.
or while everybody's coming in, I just do some like crowd work.
Okay.
Cool. Welcome, Antonio. I know who you are, and I know a few other people know who you are, but if you want to give a quick introduction so the rest of this little group knows who you are, you're welcome to.
I'm exhausted dealing with hospital stuff, but so hypnotist, I used to have real bad depression, anxiety. I used to also be a raving lunatic that would eat up everything Alex Jones said, and then I realized, like, oh, my mental health does not pair well with conspiracy, so I use hypnosis to like balance my head out.
Cool.
Doesn't really stop all the voices, but it is what it is.
And I know you've got a cool book coming out soon.
Yeah,
I don't know
converting.
how soon. Yeah.
Well, sooner than yesterday. I guess that's a good way to say it.
There you go.
That's like the hack. That's the hacky title. It'll be out whenever.
Yeah.
Cool. I know you got one. You're doing your audio one, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I'm seriously debating if I'm actually going to write the book or if I'm just going to make it a course. I think I'll
So
make
do it
more
all.
money if it's a course. Huh?
Do it all.
Both. Use the book as your
Syllabus.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought about that too. So
That's
in
what all
here,
great professors
Antonio,
do.
we kind of talk about all kinds of things, hypnosis and getting clients and stage shows and kind of go all over the place. And sometimes we even do some impromptu therapy or some impromptu
Hey,
hypnosis.
don't look
or
at Bob too strongly.
all kinds of other stuff. Yeah.
So how many videos are you going to put up on your channel before you make it live,
Who's that?
Scott?
Me? What do you mean?
Is your channel live now?
Yeah, I've got like 3 channels that are live, and I'm working on doing another one. But
What's it under? Because I couldn't find it.
you're not supposed to be able to
He
find
doesn't want
it.
you
I
to
don't-
find it.
I want it left alone with the YouTube algorithm, so the YouTube algorithm can do its magic.
Oh, I wanted to at least look at it.
Well, we'll pull it up someday.
I have a question for people. I don't know if anybody could answer me this. So I'm trying to get some endorsements from like some celebrities for the books. I went to school with Kristen Bell. I know Dak Shepard. He's a actor that also has a show that like tackles conspiracy theories. So I'm trying to figure out a way to get like a PDF of this into the hand, or like you said, what's that packaging? You told me this. Oh shit!
FedEx.
Always gets open. Yep, FedEx. I
If
might have
you
to
can get an
FedEx.
address for them. FedEx has 100% open rate. It'll cost you
Yes.
like $8 to $10 per person to send it to.
Oh,
but-
I don't care.
Yeah.
Bingo! Looks like I'm doing that.
But yeah. As far as contacting people, I know that a lot of people who have luck actually getting a hold of celebrities through just their Instagram. Like
You might
you
have to
wouldn't
do
think that would be that way, but I've known a lot of people that had luck doing that. So
I mean, I could just go wait outside the door and look in their window. That'll work.
I mean, that is one way to go. You may not go where you're planning to, but
I'm going places. Outside of
money.
jail is not one of them.
Bring bail money.
Yeah.
That's funny.
so how what kind of timeline are you looking at for your book coming out?
Hopefully soon. I got I've got most of the chapters done, but I did the first 3 chapters as a PDF with a cover. I use that guy that a 9 guy recommends. I forget what his name is. It's like $30, I think, which came out. It's way better than if I edited it myself. I have a problem. I want to edit everything myself. Like, no. I am not good. I don't want to learn these skills.
Yeah.
The copywriter.
Yeah, or no. Doing editing the ebook, I'm like, I don't have time for that energy.
Yeah, no. I even if I had time, I don't have the ability. Like that's one skill I'm happy to hand off to someone else. I was not born a perfect writer. That's what editors are for.
Yeah, my writing is very conversational.
Yeah.
Where some people try to make, I'm like, no. I'm like, I want it to look broken English. And I have one line in the, hopefully nobody gets offended here. Good. There's one line in the book where I was talking about like something bad happened, and I, the idea of oh, there's no crying over spilled milk. I extrapolated that into like a line in the book. It's like, can somebody get a cleanup on aisle 3? We got a bitch tits crying over spoiled milk. So my humor, it lands with a certain kind of people. So if people get offended, they ain't gonna like the book.
It sounds like it lands with a thud.
Yeah, exactly.
I might have a resource where you can, like, when your book's ready to come out, when it's out and everything. I know a guy who runs a podcast, has about 250,000 daily downloads. And
what's it about?
The podcast is called The Survival Podcast, and he talks about just self-reliance, self-sufficiency, and he's in that space. He's in the space where all the conspiracy theorists are, but
Yeah.
he's not a conspiracy theorist. So,
So you mean he's a marketer?
well, not exactly. I mean, maybe go and listen to a few of his podcasts, and definitely listen to a few, because you may accidentally land on one that's not necessarily representative at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because there's some out there where he definitely goes off on some rants, but I think he would love to have you on as a guest. And he's got getting on as a guest, you just fill out a form, and as long as you jump through the hoops, man, he'll probably put you on. I think you'd be a really good fit for his audience.
Yeah, I can tell the story. I don't know if you've heard my story. I can be quick about it. This is the first chapter, and I got to see if my girlfriend pull up the groceries. So years ago, I used to listen to Alex Jones, religiously.
Yeah.
And at one point, I was going to computer school, and the bus was coming down Rosa Parks in Detroit. As the bus is coming down, I've been taking this bus for about a year. So the bus is coming down, and then the bus turns on to Michigan Avenue. So it turns on a different street. So I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And then I'm freaking out because it's never done this. And I can hear like a loud like thumping overhead. I'm like, what the hell? I look out, so I press my face to the bus window. 2 black helicopters like coming down on the bus. I'm like, okay, something's happening. Heart starts pounding. Off in the front of the bus, I see a bunch of fully armed guards like pushing towards us. So I'm losing my shit. I'm like, oh my! And they fully armed like to the hilt, and they got a tank off in the distance. I'm like, oh shit, martial law's coming. This is exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, Alex Jones, right? I got to get out of here. I get off the bus, start walking to my parents' house. So I wanted to get home and warn all my Patriot friends on MySpace. As I'm walking, I see this guy off in the distance. He looks like he's been dead a couple hours, real pale skin. The best way to describe him, he looks like he's a mix of a weasel and a fish had a baby. Both eyes are trying to run away from each other. As I'm walking past him, like, I know this guy. Like, how do I know him? My heart's fucking pounding. Like, how do I know this guy? I've seen him. I look over to my right. I'm like, huh, why the hell is the actor Steve Buscemi here? That's when I hear a quiet on the set. And I'm like, holy shit. At that moment, I realized, I'm like, yeah, martial law is not real. They're not coming for us. They're filming a movie, and I look like a moron. But yeah, I'm trying to get an endorsement from Steve Buscemi, but I don't know if he'll like how I describe him in the book.
Well, if you use that description, I don't think you will, but you never know.
I'll be back in a second, guys. I gotta grab some groceries.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Scott, I got that video of Joe Kidd then.
Huh?
Joe Kidd,
What about him?
I got his video.
What you do?
Yeah, he sent it to me.
Oh, are you
Uh-oh,
wanting
let's
to, are
see
you
it.
wanting to play it so we can rip him apart like we did Colin?
No. Stop it.
I know the exact point I'd tell you to go to if Lisa was in here.
She sent me a voice memo. Like, I don't know where she's at, but it's loud.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's a fair or something, because She's like, I don't think it'd be any good for me to show up today. You wouldn't be able to hear me. Like, fair enough.
You want me to start it, Scott?
That's up to Joe.
I mean, you can. I learned a lot from doing it. It was my first show. I'm happy with what I did for my first show, but
Yeah, I think I've seen part of it before. But
I mean,
yeah, go for it, man.
after seeing some seasoned pros do shows though, like I went to Michael C. Anthony's show and I was like, oh man, it was I got a lot of work.
That's your first show?
Yeah.
That's an impressively sized it's a lot of chairs for a first show.
Yeah, right.
It was 18 chairs and the exact number came up and sat down. It was weird. I think I end up with about 8 or 10 left.
Do you want me to go to the 8 or 10?
Yeah, that's probably best.
Past the induction.
Yeah, I took it.
I saw the point there where you have a bunch of them laying on the floor. That'd be where you'd want Lisa to see, right?
No. Later, there's a part where I drag a girl by her ankle.
We'll go to that for you.
Oh yeah, you told me about that. The Joe Kid, 1 subscriber.
And sleep.
So the girl in the
Great. All right. Now,
she was a little
as you
over
sit
after. I almost sent her
or
away.
lay
but
there.
I kept her.
What's that?
The girl in the middle, she has kind of like a tropical shirt. I almost sent her back, but she was entertaining enough to stay.
Her?
Yeah. The one next to her, her mom was in the audience, and she came up to me afterwards, and this was kind of my my verification. She goes, I've never seen my daughter like that. She really came out of her shell. I was like, and that told me, okay.
Nice.
Like, yeah, that's kind of a good confidence boost after doing it for the first time ever.
Yeah, you're at that moment, you're like, wow, this stuff really works.
Yeah.
I want you to imagine that you're on a beach. We're on vacation. You're in a nice little lounge chair. Go ahead and sit back, stretch out, get comfortable. Enjoy the sun. By a nice ocean. Sipping on a drink, not alcoholic. Guys, that was for the parents.
That was for the parents.
All right. You're enjoying the breeze, nice cool breeze. Look out, there's some seagulls flying around. The smell. Take a look up at the clouds. You see all kinds of shapes. The great thing with these clouds is you can reach up and touch them and change their shape. You can mold them like clay to anything you want to. That's great. Oh yeah. Some are making them nice and fluffy. Some are making them
Go a little further now.
Yeah. So all this is all the normal hot cold stuff here. In the beginning, I just played they had no set time limit for me.
Oh wow.
And I was just playing around with some skits. Like I actually right off.
No gravity.
Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
You're fine. I have like a music stand right off screen there, and I have a list of different skits that I can try to do in routines.
Over here?
Yeah, over there. Yep.
So you have a list of skits that are here, and then you're kind of using those as a reference for what you want to do next?
Yeah, I have an idea. Of course, I went over it like a million times beforehand, but I had that for backup. And like I had a flow that I kind of wanted to go, and I connected everything together, but not really. It's hard to explain.
Sounds like nested loops.
Kind of. I actually I actually did a good job of closing the loops. Actually, I should have left
Nice.
them, which I might for one of my future shows. But like, I took them right now. They're on a helicopter ride, and I took them into space. And then I used space later to say they were infected with aliens, and then had them tell me as their alien what they think humans do that is disgusting. So that was one of my.
Ooh, look at
That
those
was my-
arms floating around. That's right. Why don't you unbuckle and move around a little bit to see what zero gravity feels like? Yes, that's right. Go ahead and unbuckle your seat. Get up out of your chair. It's safe. Everything is closed in. That's right. That's right. Perfect. Beautiful. That's zero gravity. Woo. All right. The captain's told me it's time to return to your seats. We're gonna make our descent. Everybody get back and buckle in. That's good enough. All right. And we're gonna start dropping in 3, 2, 1. We're going down fast, 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 fast. We have to break the atmosphere. We have to get into the atmosphere. We're dropping all the way to the ground. Going down, 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 down. And we've landed safely.
In my second show, I actually told them that we couldn't land, and they had to jump out of a helicopter, and that worked out better than that there.
Super confident. I mean, I know you said you watched Michael C. Anthony, but I got to tell you, execution was amazing right there.
Please. And everybody look up here in the middle of the stage at my hand. Everybody look up here at my hand, at my hand.
See, I think the acting really helped you because you're used to being on stage. You're used to acting.
Yeah,
So
no doubt.
that's half the battle, just getting out there.
Yeah, that's exactly what my wife said, because I of course drag her to all the hypnosis shows I go to, and she said, I just noticed that. How did you word it, babe?
You did things that are second nature to us.
Okay.
But other people wouldn't have known that.
Did you hear her?
Yeah, I agree because the way you're standing, the way you're walking, what you're doing.
This is like, possible.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So we actually submitted a class for Hypno Thoughts Live about stage presence and for non-actors and staging and all that stuff. Like I don't know if I did it on purpose or what, but there were times where I went behind them and let them be the stars, and then times when I came out front when I didn't focus on me. And the camera wasn't wide open, but even when I was off to the side, I knew to cheat out to the audience when I was doing something. So that's all stuff we're going to add in our class.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's good.
Everybody
That's a needed
and
class.
sleep.
We okay to keep going, Scott, a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Let's see. Am I still good?
I was asking about time.
Time-wise? Yeah. Okay, I can go. I can keep going. All right, so let's get you all back in your chairs. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, eyes open, move back to your seats. Good morning. She said, we're inside. All right, and everybody, remaining in your chairs, I want you to sleep. This time when
I think at this point you fractionated them pretty good.
Yeah. I've brought them up and down a lot of time. I mean, we're an hour in, And this is the point where I'm going back and forth to my list to figure out what else to do. Like, ooh, what'll be fun next? What'll be fun next? And then
When I have you open your eyes, you will see me holding a puppet. The thing about this puppet is, it's a voodoo puppet. So anything I do to this puppet is happening to you.
now here's a staging thing that I messed up because I didn't realize where the camera cut off the edge. So I go off camera here, I think.
All right. Count of 3, eyes open. 1, 2, 3. Let's try this. All right, we're gonna try this out here. All right. Let's see. Little tickle here. Let's see if this works. All right. The great thing about puppets, is how wide they can open their mouth.
This guy's not having it.
Yeah, I kept him on stage because I knew he was one of the popular kids. He was under in the beginning, and then he just wasn't very animated. But every time he said anything, everybody laughed. So I kept him, and whenever it was something where I needed to talk to people, I made sure to save him for a point where I really needed a laugh. So
See, man, all of that coming to you instinctually like that. It's not really that. It's that you have so much experience with stage.
Yeah.
As not as a hypnotist, but
You can
just
see it
in general. Yeah. Yeah.
No doubt. And I love the creativity. I mean, the puppet, I don't remember ever seeing a stage hypnotist do a puppet.
I've seen lots of voodoo doll routines, which is basically what that is. It's really common, but yeah, I haven't seen it with a puppet either.
And I've never seen zero gravity. Have you? I mean, usually it's the same stuff.
Yeah, I don't know that I have seen that skit before.
So I got the idea from actually Mike Mandel.
Yeah.
He does what everybody does, and he does a roller coaster routine, and I wanted to do something else with that. And I decided to take them. I wanted to incorporate my military background. So I told him I was taking them on a helicopter ride, and then the helicopter shot off into space.
Are you worried about a fear of heights?
So I did. So before Mike Mandel takes them on the roller coaster ride, he gives them medicine, a pill, so where their fear will be gone. So I did the same thing for flying.
Nice.
And I had the girl in the tropical thing. I was like, raise your hand if you need it. And she had her hand up and she was like shaking. I kept walking past her. I was like, anybody else? Anybody else? So I did later, everybody does a dance, or a lot of people do a dance competition type thing. And I was taught, my wife, I have to give her credit for this. She came up with it. And she goes, well, what if to make it more relevant to today, you make it a TikTok dance?
Yeah.
So I picked out the 3 best people and had them compete to who had the best TikTok dance.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And then I did the Martian rapper thing at the end. That was pretty good.
Yeah, you've mentioned that TikTok thing before, so I'm sure other hypnotists are probably incorporating that kind of thing into. If they're not, it's just stupid. You know.
Well, somebody was telling me there was a guy still doing Elvis routines.
Yeah.
And like, I
Like
mean,
if you're
with the
working
movie,
in Florida a lot, maybe.
or if the movie, because the movie just came out, or I don't know,
Yeah.
a year ago. But I was trying to find things to keep it relevant.
Yeah.
Like I was even asking my son what high school kids are into and stuff. Because they're all the same routines. You just got to give a little spin to it. Like everybody's done everything that's being done, you know? It's
Yeah,
just
pretty
a different
much.
take.
One of the things that I do is, my daughter's been going to college like forever. She should have like doctorates after doctorates. But I have her solicit all her friends, and her friends have come to my house. We've done backyard parties, and I go, what makes you laugh? What did you see that somebody did that made you laugh? And then I turn those into little skits and play around with those. And that keeps it real and relevant to the time, right? And I know exactly what you're saying, because we all got to get on TikTok. Because if you tell them Facebook's for old people now, and you have to say, hey, we're going to make you TikTok famous today. Your video is going to go viral. Here's what you're going to do, and they know that, you know. But and the kids now, when they're calling us, of course, I get called a boomer all the time by my daughter. But what's funny to them is, or what's funny to us is, they would have no idea, you know. So you have to keep that going.
I mean,
So,
there are some things that are funny that are almost timelessly funny, you know.
Yeah.
Like you can straight pull routines out of Orman McGill's stage hypnotism book, and you can assemble them and you can do a show and it'll be funny. You know, it may not be as relevant, but there's plenty of stuff in there that, you know, that's funny, because a lot of it's physical comedy and stuff like that, and that's always funny. But yeah, it is important to keep stuff relevant. You know, you're talking about Elvis, you know, and I know people who think that making the dance be Thriller, they think that's out of date. They think that's old, you know. And you know, that came out in what, 83, 87, somewhere like that, mid 80s. That ain't exactly new, you know?
And the fart skit doesn't get old either.
What's that?
The fart skit.
Yeah, fart
smells and
skits
bodily
never get
sounds.
old.
Yeah, smells and bodily sounds are always good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one
Well,
of the side effects to the anti-gravity, by the way.
They say
Oh,
when
nice.
when you're hypnotized, like you're like 9 to 12 years old, right? And everybody knows 9 to 12-year-olds love a good fart joke. So, you know, no reason not to.
One thing that would work in schools that I know to be true, because they've done it to me, whether they were hypnotized or not, is you being the teacher and them being the unruly grade 3 class.
Oh yeah.
To have them make faces and, you know, whatever shenanigans they try to pull behind the scenes, and that usually comes out with a laugh, especially if you can catch it on your phone or something like that, just as a extra promotional picture.
Yeah, and that skit is in Orman McGill's book.
There you go.
You know, so that tells you how timeless it is, you know.
I do have a quick video to share as well, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Go ahead.
This one I actually found. I was just searching through YouTube and the channel came up. Because I searched for it, and I was looking at it and I'm like, wait a minute, I think I know who this is.
Cootsy.
Yep, and we got Mr. Matt there too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, folks, Rich Guzzi here. We're back again. We're about to demonstrate the usage of the Hypno light. Again, all it really is an induction using a light, and we're actually adding the
You guys
extra
familiar with
bonus,
this
stacking
light?
the deck a little bit more in our favor by
Yeah, I'm
doing
familiar with that
facilitating
light.
the
I've got
wire
one.
on, which
I
makes
got
the
one too.
person, the subject,
I made
go
my
into
own
hypnosis
this way
a little
cooler.
bit deeper, a little bit quicker, using the Japanese experiment to study. So again, a regular light. So what I like to do, especially if the subject is standing up, I always try to preface the session by saying you'll always be able to maintain perfect balance even under hypnosis. That way, if the person is a really super deep subject, they go on really deep, or they're a flopper, they're not gonna be flopping all over the place, they're not gonna fall on the floor, so smashing into stuff, hurting themselves, hurting you. You wouldn't want that, obviously. So you'll always be able to maintain perfect balance even under hypnosis. And then the secret ingredient to all of this, again, the eye roll is fixed, is mechanically making the person's body move like they're being hypnotized, which would then facilitate hypnosis. But also, some of this wording will help you, kind of like a pre-talk situation, building some rapport and some intrigue about how it's going to work. And I'd say something like along the lines, like, this is the Hypno Light. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have you stare at this thing for a second, and you're going to notice how as it gets closer and closer to your forehead, you're going to notice how you become more deeply relaxed. You'll notice that your eyes can potentially roll back a little bit further, and as it gets closer, you're going to notice how you're going to go into a deep state of relaxation where your eyes become very heavy. You can allow your eyes to close and then go deep into hypnosis. That's all you have to do. Just by saying something like that, it already puts the preconceived notion into the subject's mind that this is what's going to happen. And that's why the whole thing works. It's as simple as that. So, all I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my light on. Simple as that. And what I'll do is I'll put the light where it's above the person's head, depending on how tall they are. But I want them to stare at, and this is the card on how to, use the Hypno Light. By scan the QR code, and it'll take you right to the exact page to learn the induction, the Hypno Light induction. So, but I'd like to have like a coin or something heavy on here, so it really comes down and makes a nice little weight. So you can drill a hole to, like, say, a silver dollar or something along those lines, and put your coin on there. So it's going to have a little bit of a weight to it. And you want to have that dangling right down with eye level of the subject.
He's already going
So I
in.
have the light on, and now I'll tell the subject, stare directly at the coin. And in this particular case, it's only a card. You have the person staring directly at the coin card. And I don't want you to move your head, but you can only move your eyes. And now what I want you to do is I want to just use moving your eyes, make your eyes gaze up now to the Hypno Light. You see what's happening there? Now all of a sudden you're almost facilitating the eye roll already. The man's, the subject's head will be facing forward just like they were facing at the coin. Then you're going to notice as the light comes closer and closer, it's getting harder and harder to keep your eyes open because they're blinking more and more and more. You notice they become more and more relaxed as the light gets closer. In fact, nobody ever makes it with the eye with the light all the way down. It's impossible. Going deeper, more relaxed as your head just starts drooping down now. And 3, 2, 1, and just deep asleep. Maintaining perfect balance. And as you go deeper into hypnosis, feeling yourself become nice and relaxed. And every breath, through the sound of my voice, sends you deeper and deeper, feeling so good, so wonderful. In fact, you're starting to get a large smile on your face because you feel so good. In fact, you're feeling so wonderful that the smile's getting bigger now. You're starting to get happy because everything's getting really funny to you. And in fact, every time you try to stop laughing, it makes you laugh even more. Everything's getting really funny, and you try to stop laughing, but it makes you laugh even harder now. It's just got to place as funny. And it feels really good. And as I'm just twisting it to the side here, you can notice how everything just became twice as funny to you. Every time you hear more people laugh, it becomes contagious and makes you laugh twice as much. Everything just got twice as funny. And if I say one word, it's like the funniest joke you've ever heard, like bat turd, that's a funny word. And you just can't stop laughing at it. And it goes really, really good. And feeling fantastic. You take a deep breath in, and release, 3, 2, 1, just deep asleep. And the deeper you go to bed, you feel thousands of times deeper. And now, I'm going to count forward from 1 to 5. When I get to 5, come out of hypnosis all the way feeling absolutely magnificent.
So he worked with him and then he brought him back down again. It was interesting.
Right. Yeah. He's incorporating fractionation and a deepener all in one.
Yeah.
He's actually incorporating multiple techniques.
I was going to say, there's a lot going on there. Yeah. I love the pre-frame. I love him, pretty much giving him a step-by-step of what he's supposed to be doing. You want me to stop it now? Was that all right?
No, go ahead, play it. It's only got a minute. We might as well finish it.
Okay. It's a little bit more than that, but I can.
Fine.
And feeling like this was the most positive experience you've had in a long, long time. In fact, you're like an ambassador to hypnosis. You tell everybody all about it because you know that this can help people's lives just like it helped yours just now. And you're feeling
we call this blitzing. Remember I was showing
in
that.
fact, every time you try hypnosis, you go even deeper each and every time, and your life becomes better and better every time you use it. So now, at the count of 5, come out of hypnosis all the way. 1, starting to emerge out of hypnosis. 2, becoming more aware of the room around you now. 3, becoming more alert. 4, opening your eyes. 5, fully alert, fully aware, feeling absolutely amazing. You take deep breath in, positive energy comes in. Exhale, all negative energy leaves, feeling absolutely on top of the world, feeling really good and magnificent, feeling really awesome. Thank you. And there you go. And that, folks.
Yeah, There was a lot there to unpack.
Yeah, he's using a lot of techniques simultaneously, which is what Rich is good at.
He's good, he's fast, and he's really to the point.
Yeah, for a Rich Guzzi induction, that was agonizingly slow because he was trying to teach all of it.
Yeah, you have to really slow down to do that, don't you?
A lot of times you do. A lot of times you do.
I think what I learned from that video is what we always do, the pre-talk, or you can say just letting them know what's going to happen. And I like the fact that he was worried about his balance and told him in the, in the beginning that it's important that he maintains his balance and stands up and all that. Because sometimes I think people forget that.
Oh, people do forget it sometimes.
And they just collapse. It's like, oh no.
Yeah, he's
Well,
big
it,
at not
it
letting
serves
people
two
hit the road.
purposes, right? It's to protect them, but it also implies that it's going to be so effective they could pass out. you know,
Wow. True.
Yeah. So,
So
it does.
it's
It
working
does
on two levels.
set up the frame there too.
Yeah, I mean, you're not shocked at any expectations or expectations. You're not shocked as you're doing it. There's no apprehension.
But
He's
yeah,
built really strong rapport.
walking them through it at the beginning like that, like what's going to happen, just builds the anticipation. It sets up the expectation of results. Like this is what's going to happen. That way they know what they're supposed to do. It gives them the cues they need so they know what's supposed to happen.
Remember the video of my grandson? He had really bad anger issues. He was sitting in the back seat and he was saying how angry he was and he was really putting his fist out. This poor kid's going through so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And basically he said he was really mad and I asked him where it was and he asked him what color it was. And I asked him to change it and he wouldn't change it. And then finally I told him, I said, make it a balloon and put it out in front of you. And he was holding it. And I told him, like you said, I was setting him up for anticipation. Now you're going to let go of that balloon. You're going to let go. You're going to let go, but not just yet. Yeah. And I've said it 3 times. And then he finally released it and he couldn't find it anymore.
Yeah. And that's
that anticipation and that repetition. Oh my God, repetition. Really helps a lot. Not yet. Just not yet, but you're going to start doing this very shortly.
Which you'll notice that Rich didn't say in a moment. He hates that phrase. He'll set up anticipation, but he hates that in a moment. I don't know what his pet peeve about that is, but he's definitely got one. And I use it all the time. I think anticipation is really powerful, especially if you've got a subject who is already experienced going into trance. It's not as powerful on a first time. It's good to tell them what's going to happen. It's good so that they know kind of the process and everything. But man, when you've got somebody who's good at going into trance, all you need is anticipation.
Well, anticipation and really what's powerful on stage or in conversational or in therapy, indirect suggestions are even better. Yeah. If you're actually not talking directly to them, and I think we went through this before, where I'll be talking to the guy next to him or the person next to him, or you're just talking to the air, and you're telling someone something, but you're telling them that you're telling someone else, but really you're dropping indirect suggestions, which I love to do. Yeah, I do that at Panera's.
Suggestions, whatever you want to call them, putting stuff inside of quotes, all kinds of things can be used to bypass the critical factor without actually putting somebody in trance.
Yeah. Is it factor or faculty?
Yeah, I've heard it called both.
I know, me too.
Yeah. So
is it real? I don't know.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Doesn't matter to me.
Is it real?
Works. I say it, you know what it means. I'm sure somebody else will come up with another name for it tomorrow. So
like giraffe or elephant or something,
So everything you just talked about is that's a synopsis of Michael C. Anthony's show. It's all anticipation, and he does indirect suggestion by talking to the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's like you're waiting for the thing that he set up to happen. Like, so not only is the anticipation happening on stage, but it's happening to the audience as well. Like he's just a showman. He's just really good.
Yeah.
So, Scott, do you remember the video where I did the synchronicity?
Yes.
And remember, I wasn't talking to him. I was talking to my shop guys,
Yeah, absolutely.
and he was listening and he was setting himself up for what I was doing.
Yeah, I mean, it works great. You know, like they say, the voice goes through the whole room. I may be hypnotizing this person, just like when I go to a party and I hypnotize somebody. I love to hypnotize the host. Okay. Because if you hypnotize the host and you get the host goofing around, having fun, being a great subject, you've got anybody in the room you want, generally speaking. Because
you're borrowing their rapport.
likability, their
Right.
rapport, whatever. Because you know,
Actually, it's authority. You know,
Yeah.
and what is
borrowing
say?
their social capital.
Yeah,
you know.
he says authority, and I always forget the other one. It's newness.
Novelty.
Novelty, yeah. Yeah, that's really the two things that will really influence people. And that's why Joe Kidd kept that guy on the stage. You know, he had authority. So he was borrowing his authority every time he needed it.
Yeah, I like to hypnotize the host, and then I like to send the host out into the party or whatever you want to call it, with a post-hypnotic suggestion that the whole crowd can enjoy and play with, and then bring them back. And you know, like I said, once you've done that, you can hypnotize anybody in the room, except for the people who are really scared of you. You know, then you can hypnotize them too, because that you can use that fear when somebody's like, "Ooh, I'm scared of hypnosis." Oh, you've got them. If you want them, you've got them. But yeah.
You guys hear in the background at all what's going on in my house?
Yeah, what is it?
Oh, you hear music? No, I got people screaming. Football game.
Yeah, what are they screaming about? Football?
Yeah,
That's
the
not
Eagles.
important.
They're down there. I hear them yelling and screaming.
Yeah, your insulation's pretty good. But I can't hear them.
Wow.
Yeah, don't turn original
And
sound on.
Zoom is pretty good at filtering out noise.
Yeah, Zoom is actually really good at filtering out noise. If you have original sound on, Zoom is really good at picking up everything. But as long as you don't have original sound on, you're good.
Well, I think we learned a lot last week with Casey, you know, and that voice recorder and how you guys were talking about the mic and, you know, and that program. That was interesting.
Cool.
I would use that as a YouTube video tutorial, Scott, you know.
I might. I mean, that make a quick little video. Like I said, I'm probably going to make a whole course, just because everybody's always asking me about it. So
You need to do it ASAP.
why do you need it?
No, but a lot of people need it. Actually, no, I'm better off if I just paid people to do it.
Yeah, my problem. That's my problem. I'm busy doing it all day, and to stop and go, okay, I'm going to teach somebody else how to do it. It's like it's going to take me 3 times as long to do anything. But yeah, I do need to just get it done sooner or later. But if anybody really needs something, you know, Lawrence is out there and he does good work. He's got a good program. But
my thing is I over obsess. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I heard a click and I over obsess. Everybody else is like, it sounds perfect. They're like, it sounds good, but I'm just over obsessing about the sound quality.
Yeah. I find that the sound, I've got a studio specifically set up for sound quality. So my quality is pretty good right out the gate. I used to obsess over my voice and not liking my voice, but then I found that so many other people really did like my voice. And I'm like, well, screw it. I guess those are the people I'm hypnotizing.
You don't need to criticize your voice. I can do it for you.
Yeah. See, there you go. So are you going to beat Carl Smith with this little challenge of y'all's?
Man, I don't know. Because I took a break over the past 2 weeks. I think you saw on Facebook how our neighbor, the shitty hospital, we took him to hospitals. He couldn't stand up. And the hospital's like, oh, he has gout. First, like 20 seconds. We told him, like, he has dementia. We think he fell. It took him 9 days to x-ray a 90-year-old's hip. So I'm infuriated. So they did a hip replacement 3 days ago. And then his jaw was getting all puffy. And then they did through his blood, it's got a staph infection. So now I'm dealing with that. I'm going to go sleep up the hospital today. Yeah, if you ever come to Hawaii, do not get hurt. The hospital out here the name is Wilcox. It has been dubbed Killcox. It's notorious for how bad it is.
Wow.
So you're in Hawaii?
Yeah, Kauai. Nice and warm. So if anybody's in the snow, sorry. It is what it is. But yeah, I was going strong for like a month or two, walking every day, and then with this happening, I was like, screw it. I was like, taking care of my neighbors more important, but I'll be able to lose the weight. I did lose like 10 pounds, but then I got to do core transformation to kind of get my diet back under control.
There you go. Get on it. So what are you whittling?
So old man, I'm trying not to whittle my finger. Old man's glasses, I'm trying to fix them. I couldn't find his other piece of his eyeglasses. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try taking chopstick, cut off the end, like open it, and then try to just makeshift a pair of glasses for him so he can watch TV up at the hospital.
Okay.
As I talk about, I just hate wasting time on stuff I can just pay somebody to do.
Yeah, right.
There is a message for you. Excuse me. There is a message for you.
Yeah, as long as I don't whittle my fingers, I'll be good. Yeah. So what's everybody's niche in here? Niche. Or is it just
being
kind of
Canadian?
What?
Mine is being Canadian.
Oh yeah.
In the snow.
Are you a fan of Trailer Park Boys?
I've watched them, yeah.
Yeah, so Mr. Leahy, the drunk trailer park supervisor, called me for my birthday back in 2011 because somebody got myself way too drunk, and I don't remember, but I messaged the actor. I was like, call me tomorrow, and he actually called me for my birthday, which was kind of cool.
Crazy.
Yeah, I love my Canadians. Are you you sound East Coast?
No, not me. I'm Western Canada.
Okay, I was wrong on that one.
But I think you just qualify as straight up Northern Canada.
All Canadians are north of where you are.
Well, yeah. There is no North Texas. Don't let anybody lie to you.
Nice shirt, Justina.
It's a jacket. I just bought it.
I like it. When I go to Argentina, I wear stuff that says Canada because I don't want to hear about at the time, Trump.
I can't wait for Hypno Thoughts this year. Hopefully I won't be patient zero.
That was crazy.
Yeah, you knew that was me, Scott, right?
What? That you were patient zero?
I thought it was
Yeah,
Victoria.
I don't know. Like nobody was patient zero.
Oh no, I was the first one. No, I was the one that Scott because he's the one that posted in the Facebook group on the first day because it hit me because I was sick before I did all my tests. I got there and then the one I thought it was a cigarette because I don't smoke anymore, but like coffee, and then the next day at like 5 o'clock, I was like, I don't feel so swift. It hit me hard. I was like, well, let me go sit in my room. But it was a bummer because I had my Halloween. I made this costume for the 80s party.
Oh, that was an awesome costume.
I still have it. I forgot I had it.
Yeah.
Oh, Max Headroom.
That's great.
I got my little Max Headroom costume that I forgot to take apart. And but I guess it was kind of fitting because Max Headroom was on an electronic device, so people would see me via FaceTime. I guess it is what it is.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Joe. Hopefully, I didn't get you sick there. I had no clue, and then it just.
Someone got me sick there.
I mean, there's 150 people jumping on a 10-foot by 10-foot dance floor for 3 hours. I mean, if they didn't know somebody was going to get sick, which I'm totally down. You're not going to avoid it. Everybody gets sick sometimes. You know.
Well,
Yeah.
after the pool party, my wife and I both talked to Antonio for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then we both ended up getting COVID while we were there. We didn't even realize it. We were like you. We just thought it was like the desert air, and we were staying up late and drinking. We didn't.
Air conditioning.
Yeah. We didn't test ourselves till we got home, and we had it for sure.
I think it was just, it would be harder to find somebody that didn't get COVID while they were there. So
I didn't
Oh.
get it last year either.
you were hiding then.
I
I was
told-
definitely not hiding, and I did not test positive for COVID. So
I posted on the group, on the Hypno Thoughts group. Hey folks, sorry I can't be with you guys. I got a quarantine. I got sick. I'd love to be with you guys. Scott messaged me. He's like, I'm not gonna let that post go through because apparently, hotels in Vegas, if you're still positive, you get escorted to a much shittier hotel
Yeah.
than the Orleans, which I don't know how, I didn't think that was possible. I think it's Arizona, it's Orleans.
Yeah. They kicked out Ken Guzzo, and then not only did they kick you out, but they put on an APB all over Vegas. Don't let this guy in your place. So Ken got kicked out, and Scott booked a room for Scott at another hotel to put Ken in, so he wouldn't be in the ghetto hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Ken locked himself out naked, and they were like, "Who are you? You don't have a room here." Oh fuck! He had to get Scott on the phone to get himself back into his own room.
no. Time out. You skipped over the important part of that. He locked himself out naked. How? I don't leave my hotel room naked in Vegas.
Right?
So
Yeah, you kind of gloss over that. You're like, he was walking around with an erection anyhow. You're like, wait. Let's back this one up.
I have to take this call. I'll see you guys next week.
all right.
Hey, Casey.
Yeah, Casey,
I tried to get all scared of the cold, but I just couldn't quite figure out how to do it.
My niche is mostly stop smoking clients. I don't know what everybody else works with exactly. I know David does a lot of clients.
I do. I'm a generalist at this point. I mean,
I thought.
I sort of, advertise to smokers,
Yeah.
but I take anyone that's in my lane. I mean,
Yeah.
there was one guy who called up. Actually, his mother called for him, and he had he is bipolar. And I said, I don't think I'm qualified to help him, to do whatever she wanted him to do, and so I sort of, I said, thanks, but no thanks. But
I'm glad to hear that.
yeah. But, I do all different things.
Speaking of your lane, how is the young lady with vaginismus coming along?
I haven't seen her. I'm seeing her tomorrow morning.
Okay.
8:30 in the morning tomorrow. So that's when I'll be able to work with her on the little surprise she laid on me at the end of her session.
Yeah.
I obviously missed the last call about what was happening, so.
Did you see him hit his nose when he said that?
Me?
A challenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your unconscious mind was saying it's up for the challenge tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. The nose.
Sorry,
No,
I listened to sorry, I just wanted to jump in on that one.
All right.
And Bob's specialty, Bob's niche is being a Jedi Knight. He does a bunch of covert stuff. Actually runs a heating and air empire and uses his hypnosis skills in negotiating and employee management and playing with the people at Panera and wherever else he can get it in.
Yeah, I just had a guy last week. I don't know if I might have told you guys, had an anger issue at Panera's.
No, I don't think he told us that one.
Yeah, he actually almost got in a fight at Panera's. It was about a month ago. And he's in the coffee group now with us. And I was chatting with him. And every 5 seconds he'd say, well, I'll beat him up. And the guy's 60 some years old. And I said, do you realize the language that you speak? And then I went through all the different things that he said. And he said, no. I said, well, you have to start listening to yourself. So today I want you to just start listening to yourself. And then I did a bunch of things with him. The next day he came in, he goes, wow, I didn't realize all the words that I was using and how it was really harming me. And I said, okay. So now you know. Now what I want you to do is write down all the things that you're angry for. And he goes, well, I'm not really angry. I said, just go home, go to a quiet place, follow your feelings where all that anger is. And trust me, you'll come up with plenty of things. And I said, emotions will pop up. Allow them to happen. Whether you cry, you might stand up, you might kick, you might punch, you might get angry. I said, I want all those emotions expressed. And I want you to write them down. And then when you're done, and when you're completely done, I want you to go outside and burn that paper for the last time. He came back and he's not doing it anymore at all.
Awesome.
So I asked him to come to dinner with me after the Foreigner show. And we had dinner and we spent a couple hours. It's amazing. He goes, Bob, I got to tell you, I'm so sad that I had to spend all these years so angry. And he said, I'm just amazing. I might be putting him on my YouTube channel as well. He volunteered and some of my YouTube videos because he said he'd really like to be a part of that. So I may pop him in.
That's incredible.
Oh, for a win. I took these these old frames. I took two chopsticks, I cut the end, and I made a pair of glasses for old man. Perfect.
There you go.
Now you have a
That's one of
backup
my
career.
hobbies. I love being ingenious, whatever it is. I love just being resourceful and building stuff. I guess I tell myself it's fun. I do things like my dad. My dad was cheap, didn't want to spend money on stuff. That's the problem.
What about you, Steve? What's your niche?
So I have a wagon wheel with a lot of spokes on it. But my going in, my big ones are going to be healthy weight. And my biggest one is working with rodeo contestants, specifically in team roping, calf roping, and barrel racing right now, putting mastermind programs together.
Now that is a niche.
Yeah.
Also known as the only guy in town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's how it kills me because the National Finals Rodeo goes on. I don't know if anybody ever has gone to it, but it's the first 10 days in December in Las Vegas forever. And that's where I was supposed to be. And I just canceled out of it. So, but that will be a big one, putting a program together, and especially for team ropers, because you get to double your money, right?
Yeah. Double your money, and it's self-reinforcing.
Yeah, so I'll be a vendor there next year, and I'll also be doing on-the-spot hypnosis at one of those events, and hopefully get into all the like Ride TV, all the. I don't know. I don't subscribe to any of the country channels, so I just don't know. But I know I've hypnotized people from Ride TV, and that's like an equestrian channel that they have out there, and we were walking by one day and I just hypnotized like 5 or 6 of them in there. So I'm going to try and get on that as well. So, and just talk about sport. It's more along the lines of sports performance. But the thing is, in this niche, and it's really cool, is because people will spend $150,000 for a decked out horse trailer, $70,000 for their big dually truck, $50,000-$60,000 for their horse saddles, all the equipment, and they might qualify, but they never win. And I can tell you, every time that I've won, why, after being a hypnotist. It didn't dawn on me at the time I was doing it, but as I reflect back, as a hypnotist, what are some of the things that I've done to make the outcome what I wanted? So that's where I'm going with that.
Yeah,
Then,
that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and then whatever spokes come off the wagon wheel, we'll just let them lay where they may.
Yep. What about you, kid? What's your niche?
Well, I've just been focusing on the entertainment side, and then I've started talking to athletes.
About being entertained.
No, about mental performance and peak performance, stuff like that.
Awesome.
Mental time.
And then the other Joe there, he's our resident rookie.
There. Yes. Resident rookie, specialty is rookie. But working on that because I got one paying client, and then I'll see him again tomorrow.
Awesome.
For weight loss. Had somebody cancel out on me for pain and smoking today, so that
you
was
finished your certification what 3 weeks ago?
that was just Eric's going in like language certification. I'm still in the HTA and JHA academies. Been in there for like since the middle of middle of October.
Gotcha. Hitting the ground running, man. That's
Yeah,
great.
that's good. You've already got paid clients.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody
We'll see how it
congratulate him.
works
He's
out.
officially a professional hypnotist now. He's got a paid client. Wow.
Just one so far, but I'm working on that.
That's how we all start.
I need that number to be bigger.
Get one right, you got 100.
Well, your next one actually doubles it. So,
Well, especially if it's weight management and then they do well, then people are going to ask them what happened, and they'll tell your story.
Yeah. What about you, James? Do you have a niche?
I didn't for a while, but I've done more sports hypnosis than anything recently. I'm working with someone who I have a personal trainer who comes to my house twice a week, and he started referring me to a bunch of his clients. And so I'm working with somebody right now who's trying to be an Olympic shooter for Nigerian national team.
Awesome.
So it's a pretty interesting person.
Yeah.
I would say weight management and sports hypnosis are the two things I've done the most of. But my bragging rights story is I helped somebody unlock their crypto password, and they were able to get $550 worth of Dogecoin off their college machine.
Oh, Doge, huh? Now, if you just said $1 million worth of Bitcoin, now that'd have been a story.
That would have been better, yeah. But I didn't, it was like a friend of a friend, and I didn't think it would work, so I was like, yeah, just pay me if it works. And then it worked, but then they were like, well, I found it myself.
Wow.
So
I hope you're
learned a
not
few
into
lessons there.
Bitcoin.
Huh?
I hope you didn't get involved in that Bitcoin.
No.
I stayed away from it too.
Hey, who wants to buy an NFT that's a big pile of tulips?
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
But I wanted to show you guys this. Look what I got over the holiday.
Nice.
Yes.
It's a vintage Omega watch from the 1900s.
Wow.
But I messed up. I accidentally won 3 of them.
Accidentally won 3?
Well, I found one that I wanted, and there were, 3 of them or 5 of them on auction for different prices. And so I put in what I thought would be the winning bid, and I was testing out this bid napper software, and 3 of the 5 won.
Wow.
Okay, so 2 things. I can give you my address. I'll send you a PM. And Christmas is right around the corner. And the second thing is I need a link to that software.
Okay, I'll hook you up. It's worked. I've used it now 4 or 5 times, and it doesn't always work. I was trying to win a Rolex vintage. I don't know if you knew this, but it sort of just recently dawned on me that every major watch company started off making pocket watches for the most part.
Really?
So there's like Rolex pocket watches, which are insane, but
James,
they're not as expensive as a regular Rolex. So
James, are you a big watch person?
I'm a recovering watch person. The last watch I bought that was nice was an Omega dive watch, and I've had that for 15 years. And, I could see where I was going, so I decided to stop buying expensive watches. And then
I'm going to make your
I think you shared with me, you have a friend that turns them into wristwatches, right?
Yes. Look up the letter RPAIGE. He takes antique pocket watch movements, puts them to new ones. One of the coolest ones he made, it was from from when we bombed Germany. There's antique pocket watch movements from a factory in Germany that he repurposed into watches. Oh, they're awesome. They're beautiful.
Cool.
James, do you ship to Canada?
I might be. Yeah.
All you need now is a top hat and monocle.
Yeah, there's a watch guy in town that I'm going to take him in and get him appraised, because one of them I think is worth like $1,000, but it was only $250.
Heck yeah. What is Antonio working on now?
Closing a toolbox.
Ah.
The tool is messing with tools.
It's only like 4 in the afternoon where you're at, isn't it?
5.
5.
Yes, we don't do that goofy daylight saving shit. That's why I always miss Zoom and webinars when we do the changeover. I always skip that stuff.
Gotta get out of here. You guys have a good night.
All right, Joe. Great seeing you.
Yep.
Yeah, enjoy.
Keep up the good work. Keep up the progress.
Enjoy Ohio as much as you can.
Book more shows. Book more shows.
Yep. Thanks, guys. You have a good one.
Problem. You too.
Adios.
So Scott, what induction do you use when you're doing party?
So I use a few different inductions, but ever since I learned Rich Guzzi's take on magnetic fingers, I pretty much use that. Like most of his wording and everything, exactly how he does it and all his movement, because it's super effective, and more importantly, it's super quick. So, because
Yeah, I've seen him do that.
Huh?
I've seen him do that at Hypnothoughts.
Yeah, it's a super quick induction, and it's also kind of showy. And when I'm doing hypnosis at those events, I want to be a little showy. So, because that helps at those kind of events, that helps get people interested in being showy.
Right.
So, which I'm sure you understand that you do a lot of party events. So, but yeah, it drops them down super quick. And just like whenever was watching the video and Rich goes straight into the laughter routine, right? That's a deepener. It's a skit, but it's also a deepener. And if you'll notice when he's doing
I had to cut away. You showed her what you
okay.
Not Rich Guzzi.
Yeah, it was Rich Guzzi. Yeah. So Bob was showing the video, and he you can catch it on the recording. He was or you just go to YouTube and look it up. He was doing the induction, and as soon as he's got him hypnotized, he goes straight into the laughter bit, the uncontrollable laughter bit.
Right.
But he's also got his arm around him, and he's swaying him a little bit. He's doing a little sway also, because that's also a deepener. And yeah, I do the whole basic routine there, and just go straight into skits, pretty rapid fire. So
excellent. All right.
Do
Can
some
you
really-
do you have the link to that in YouTube?
Bob, can you drop the link to that in the chat?
Sure.
Thanks. But yeah, he was doing a hypno light induction. That's not his magnetic fingers induction.
Oh, in the video that
Yeah, he's doing the hypno light induction, which I've used that too. I like to use the hypno light induction if my subject is a what do you call them? I don't know. If there's someone who's really into like astrology and stuff, because my hypno light has a crystal on it, and so it's really easy to get somebody who's into crystals to use crystal as a fascination object. So
Yeah, you said you made your Hypnolite?
yeah.
Huh.
I can pull it out. Just give me a second. Somebody say something so I can make sure I can hear y'all without my headphones in.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I know I need to check it somewhere else.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
Scott, how long have you been doing these? Didn't you start these with Jim Kellner?
I think he stepped out.
Ah,
There he is.
And he's back.
hey Scott, didn't how long have you been doing this? Didn't you start this with Jim Kellner?
Yeah, I did start them with Jim. And I don't know how long I've been doing with this point. I think about a year and a half, 2 years. It's been a while.
Yeah, so I was gonna jump on originally, but I was just swamped and taking care of the neighbor, and then whole stupid pandemic and blah 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 blah.
Yeah. But yeah, my light was not where I thought I had left it, so I have to find it and show it to you later. It's just a little mag light. Yeah, I like that. Just a little mag light with a sterling silver chain and a pendant on it. So got your
And the
pocket watch.
pocket watch.
I don't remember the name, but there was a guy, it's Kevin something, who was teaching, I think, something called side tap, and he was using a light, but I don't remember what it was.
I don't know.
Oh, that guy is such a quack. Is he the one that
I think he got discredited recently.
yeah, he was saying that he was like special ops in like the British military, and they're like, yeah, no, you don't.
Yeah, stolen valor.
It was basically like an ad I think he made for himself, or it's almost like him photoshopping himself on Time magazine, be like, look, I was on time.
Hey, just so y'all know, everybody here can put person of the Time magazine, person of the year 2006 on your resume, because Time magazine said everybody was a person of the year that year.
That's right.
Are you serious?
Yep. You can put Time
That
magazine,
was, I
person
think,
of the
one of the
year
first
2006.
That was the first time that a major magazine, maybe not the first time, that they could actually print your name like individualized covers. And so, you know how today, that they can print your name and address on the front cover. That was like the first time a major magazine could do that. So if you subscribe to Time magazine, it would say, David Lawrence, Man of the Year. And Scott would get Scott King, Man of the Year.
Yeah.
Because they were showing how everything was going to be personalized in the future. And I'm surprised that there is, in fact, a what channel was it, Steve? What horse related channel did the Ride channel?
Yeah, it's called Ride TV.
Ride TV. It's like, okay.
So yeah, apparently you was the person of the year in 2006.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah.
If you bought it on the newsstand, it said you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so question for anybody. Maybe some people can recommend a resource for this. So I touched on it briefly earlier. I'm gonna be spending the night up at the hospital with our neighbor that he's 90. We've basically become an informal caregiver for him over the years. He's got dementia, so he's like really worried. I've tried doing hypnosis with him before, but it's hard, especially with dementia. Does anybody know of any good like story-based stuff? I have this book, Stories That Heal. It's reparenting adult children in dysfunctional families. But some of the stories in there, they're stories about for babies, like developments. I don't know. I might as well read it to them. It's not going to cause any harm. Does anybody know of any specific book that has stories along that line of dementia? Or that's a very niche topic right there.
Yeah, I don't know.
For some reason, I think there was a Hypno Thoughts Live lecture last year, something to do with dementia.
Oh yeah, I coughed on that guy, and then he got COVID after. James Halbin. Yeah, I remember him.
Have you looked at this book, Antonio?
Is it the? Yeah, I had that on. I looked at that one first, but with see, it might be harder because I can't really induce trance with him because he's just too, especially with dementia, you're just too worried, and when you're pulled out of your environment, you're scared. I might just straight up like, hey uncle, we're gonna read a story. Or I'm gonna read a story to you. I did kind of look at that one real brief. It's funny, I have that book on my shelf. I was looking at that while I was listening to somebody earlier.
3 nested loops ought about put him in an induction without realizing that you're going in an induction.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
say it again.
I
Just
don't know
do
how.
3 nested loops. That should do it, because my dad likes to listen to stories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a little harder because for one, well, I mean, he has a little bit of pain. Thank God they did the hip surgery, but I was so mad because the doctors. The thing is we're his caregiver. We know him. He comes up to our apartment every day, up and down. Comes up for dinner, and we got the doctors and we're like, hey, he has dementia. We think he fell. The guy came in. He said, oh, he has gout within like 20 seconds. So at first I was like, wow, that's a good diagnosis. Next doctor came in. He's like, this isn't gout. And he's like, did he drain his knee? I'm like, you're asking a not doctor if the first doctor drained his knee. I'm like, no, he didn't. So they dropped the ball so many times. And then after the surgery, they were saying that before the surgery, they had to postpone it 2 or 3 days because his kidney levels were down. And I asked one of the better doctors, I asked him, like, why is kidney levels so bad? Like, we weren't doing the proper labs. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You weren't doing proper labs on somebody that's not eating or drinking in the hospital? What the hell is that? So just frustrating. So I mean, that really tanked my motivation. Like just today I was depressed and just here's the thing. What was that?
No, go ahead. Well,
go ahead.
So he has dementia.
Yeah.
What does that mean? I know what dementia is, but I want to know what that means in this situation.
Dementia in this situation is he doesn't know he's in the hospital, and we have to like kind of remind him. But most times I just play along with it. I went in the room the other day. He's like, "Where did you look around?" I was like, "Where did you get this apartment?" I'm like, "Are we roommates now?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, guess so." We just played it off, and it felt like the movie Step Brothers. I'm like, "Okay, cool. We're freaking roommates now in the hospital." But yeah, so it's just mainly reverting in age a little bit. Yeah, definitely noticing some language like out in Hawaii, everybody says if somebody wants to pee, they say she, but then he says wee. I'm like, and then it dawned on me, like, oh, that's probably what he said when he was a kid. So yeah, so definitely
what's your goal? What's your goal for him?
Thank you.
Because I know you're kind of all over the place. Like you want to do stories, you want to put him inductions, but
not an induction. I want him to, because we're going to work on getting him to a short-term rehab place. I just want to get him calm, just not freaking out. Because the more he freaks, I know the doctor gave him Seroquel. I'm like, I'd rather not give him medicine. It's gonna it'll worsen the dementia. I just want to get him to a place where he's calm and he's because he starts crying because he's out of his element. He doesn't know. He's worried.
Yeah, there comes a point with dementia where there's just not much you can do anymore.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like you're quite at that point yet, but
no, I mean, and it kind of comes and goes, but the biggest thing is when you pull somebody with dementia out of their environment, as you know, it fucks them up really bad.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so mad it took 2 weeks for them to, I'm like, hey, do an x-ray, and they finally did an x-ray. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you guys? So it's definitely going to be talking to legal really soon. But in the meantime, so I think I might just straight read some of these books from here, or some of the stories from this book, and just see. I mean, it's a scattershot approach. It can't hurt anything.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a
Antonio,
tough
I
one.
can't remember exactly where I saw it, but there was a video of someone who was, I can't remember whose program he was on. It was a podcast where he was talking about working with dementia patients. So I'll look for that and send it to you if I can find
Was
it.
it a hypnotist?
Was a hypnotist?
It's probably James Halbom. Let me know if you find it. I think it might be James Halbom. He was telling me, it's almost like parroting stuff back. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty good. I'll just sit there. I gotta remind myself not to cry because then it worries him. So I just have to.
Yeah, but what I remember of it is, you have to think about this. It's the present that they have trouble with, right? like what
Yeah.
just happened or what happened yesterday or where are they at. But oftentimes they have very strong memories from earlier on in life that are unblemished. So, you know, he was using music that they was popular when they were young and vibrant to kind of bring them back into that mood. And then he'd talk to them and ask them stories and tell them stories and that kind of thing. So it was very gentle, like what you're aiming for, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
But he was using lots of different modalities to try to get them to be lucid. But just remember, while he's in the hospital, it's where they sometimes call it like a sunset issue. The change of locale and the injury and all the medicine and all that, it really can disorient him. So once you get him home and stabilized, he'll probably go back to his older self, although he may not return, you know, fully. But I have an uncle who was literally in the hospital over the weekend, a holiday weekend, and he was having to be, you know, strapped down because he thought he had been kidnapped. And every time his family came in the room, he would tell them to run and get away before they came back. So he was really, really gone. But once they got him stabilized, he kind of came out of it and he's back to himself. So
Yeah,
there's
I think
hope.
it'll be better. Well, yeah, music's one thing. He's real big on music. It's funny. I actually, you probably seen the Facebook post. I actually was driving around one day playing Wu-Tang, and this old guy was singing some like freaking hip hop. I'm like, oh sweet. But we're gonna try to get him into short-term rehab tomorrow because I always made a promise. I'm like, we're not gonna put you in home. Like he's not blood related, but he's basically like I've gotten the love that I always wanted from my dad from this guy. Anyhow, we're gonna try to get him into short-term rehab tomorrow. We got to do something with his Medicare, and then if that's the case, I'll be able to bring stuff from his house so he can feel like he's at least at home. Like got his ukulele, which I'm gonna bring up tonight so he can play music. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go play. At least they have an Amazon Echo in there, and I wish it would have told me that the first night because I've been using my phone to play music. After like almost 2 weeks, like, oh, there's an Amazon Echo right here. I'm like, you're kidding me. You've seen me playing music, you guys. Yeah, like I said, do not get it. If you come to Kauai, don't end up in the hospital here. It's not. You know what's crazy is people talk about, oh, that's what happens when you live on an island. I'm like, that's not a good excuse. You get federal money, you need to provide a proper level of care.
Yeah, for sure.
That's my soapbox.
You know, it's probably a conspiracy theory.
It is. They want to kill the old people off so they don't have to pay the Social Security.
Exactly.
But honestly, but you don't need to kill them off. They'll do it themselves. They'll trip and like some crazy shit will happen. So anybody going to Hypno Thoughts this year?
Definitely.
I'm planning.
going.
But secure up enough money.
I'm going to the ICBCH conference in March as well in Orlando.
Down in Florida, yeah.
Yeah, I would like to go to that one.
I was just kind of bummed with Hypno Thoughts being at a new place because Scott, you've been there from the first year, right?
No, I have not. I've been there for several years.
Okay, yeah. So that's one like I've been there every year except for 2020. I was like, I don't feel like getting hit by a bug. I think I was in 2021, but it was kind of a bummer because we've grown so accustomed to like the alligator bar and everything. So it'll be a change.
I think it'll be really good.
But
to
it'll
be
give you more
honest.
glam and glitz of Vegas and less like.
I honestly think it'll be a really good change. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I was just
I'm not sure about that. You know, like just the lunch thing alone, I think that was one of the best features is that everyone ate together and you know, even though they're giving you a voucher or something, I don't know how much the voucher is, but
100.
it's still a thing that it becomes a thing of the people that know each other are going to go to the restaurant and sit down, and you're not going to feel as comfortable just saying, hey, is this seat open?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a little different in that regards. That was one of the things I was disappointed about too, was not having the lunches. But I understand the logistics of why they're not having the lunches.
Is it cost prohibitive for?
Oh, it's so cost prohibitive because everything has to be union. So like they would have had to add probably $200 to the tickets to do.
Oh.
to
Was
do
the other
lunch
hotel
for the
not
3 days.
unionized?
Huh?
Was the other hotel not unionized?
No, they were off strip, so they weren't unionized. So they
Oh, the
could-
other place was a dump.
yeah. Orleans, it was definitely a low end hotel. It's a conference hotel. That's what it is. You know.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot more expensive. When you look at the ticket price, it's not actually any cheaper, really.
If
And
yeah, but it's not really going to be any more expensive.
I mean, compared to Sahara prices, it's not any cheaper. And the one thing that Scott didn't mention is the resort fee, which might be up to 30 to 40% more out of your pocket. So,
Wasn't there a resort fee at the other hotel?
There is a resort fee at both hotels.
I mean, it was reduced, but
yeah, because
I mean,
I stayed at the Sahara, I think end of September or October, and like I felt so violated when I saw what the resort fee was. I'm actually like talking to my credit card company about it, and if that doesn't work, I might talk to a lawyer about it.
Wow.
But honestly, the thing is resort fees are completely legal. It's a shady practice, but they're completely legal.
Yeah.
I don't know, because when you look online, they say it's an illegal practice in Vegas.
There's a
I
way.
I
don't
think
you can
if
get away
they
with
don't disclose it, it probably is. I mean,
Yeah.
I
at
mean,
least for the resort fee in the Sahara, it seems like you're actually going to get something. You know?
Well, that's the thing about the Orleans. It's not really a resort, so that's where, you know, if the Sahara has like really nice stuff, then maybe it's worth it. But I can see where you're going with that. But that's it's more credence to why you should apply to be a speaker.
Scott, you'll definitely get something at the Orleans. It might be his. You're gonna catch something.
Like a weeknight at Sahara might be $46, but then you're paying $40 for the resort fee.
Oh yeah, that's kind of a joke.
Yeah,
Right.
I ran the math, and I think that with what I'm going to save on Ubers because the monorail is available, I'll basically come out. It'll basically come out as a wash for the fact that the hotel's more expensive.
do they have a parking fee at the Sahara?
No,
I'm
it's
sure they do.
I think it's included.
It may be included.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
included.
it's included in the resort fee, probably.
Yeah, probably.
It's free.
Oh, all
You guys
right.
ever use points and just because I lived in Vegas and when I go there, I just use my points and stay for free at a hotel versus the venue. That way you skip the resort fee.
Yeah, not gonna happen for me. I'm gonna be in the event hotel.
Yeah.
You miss so much if you're not.
Yeah.
Can we book our hotel now? With
Yeah.
the
Yes.
Yeah, the group code's up there now. It's you go to the Sahara page on
Yeah.
HTL and it's all down the page.
But you won't know what the resort fee is. It doesn't say anywhere. I don't think you'll know until you call them.
I'm assuming Scott has run the numbers. I can go to a convention. I think I might have mentioned this, called Cadabra. That's for magicians. And for many years they had it in like Myrtle Beach and I forget a couple of other places. One year, the host decided, hey, we want to do it in Orlando. And they ended almost going bankrupt because everything was an extra fee for them.
Yeah.
It was unionized. And so, to move a suitcase from here to here, you had to, pay. And they didn't really anticipate all of the little extras that, that they were going to have to pay.
So Scott glossed over this whenever he did his video, and he said he basically said audio video is going to cost an arm and a leg, right? Yeah, but that's not a tiny exaggeration. It's unionized, so you have to use their guys, and it's like $700 a day per room.
Yeah,
So that's $7,700 a day if they have 11 rooms.
And that's
for audio video.
So we're not going to get audio video,
Oh,
or
you're gonna have it. You're gonna have it. It's just gonna eat his pocket. It's gonna eat their lunch doing it.
Oh,
No, it's eating our lunch. That's why we don't have lunch.
Yeah,
Right.
it's eating our lunch. Okay.
If anybody is, well, that's good for me and Carl, because I guess we'll be losing weight. If anybody ever misses the Orleans, there's actually, believe it or not, a carrot cake. Let me show you this picture. A couple
Oh,
years ago.
he sounds weird, doesn't he?
Yeah, your phone went- I don't know
your
what
audio
happened.
went weird.
Can you hear me? Does it sound weird still?
It sounds
Yeah,
like you're
I think
talking
you
like
on.
switched
you're in a
to
hole.
speaker, but
Okay. Does it still sound weird?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me try this. Let me turn this around. Does it still sound weird? Is it better?
no, it's
Nope.
not the same.
No, you were fine until a few minutes ago.
I mean, it's functional enough. What's this about the carrot cake?
Okay. If you ever miss the Orleans, go to the gas station, get that carrot cake that you can see on the screen, the Nemo's gas station brand. It tastes, I shit you negative, it tastes like the Orleans smells.
Wow.
My
Oh, that's
girlfriend-
terrible.
I can hear her in the background. My girlfriend, a couple years ago, she's like, "Here, take a bite of this." So I took it, and I got like this rush of emotion. I'm like, "My God!" I'm like talking to friends. I'm like, "Oh, I feel like I'm in Vegas." Like, I don't know what's going on. It was a fucking anchor. And then she had to tell me, I'm like, "Oh my God! Like, how do I know this?" And like, she tells me, and it's like I can smell like that. You know that nasty chemically rose? Yeah, exactly how much. Yeah, I'm telling you, get that. Take a bite if you miss the Orleans.
Okay, so yeah, you totally need to put this as a review on the Orleans website and that carrot cake.
Yeah.
Wow. Tell us how you really feel, right?
Oh, that thing was hideous. I actually did I did a podcast with Scott a couple years ago where I basically ate it on the podcast, and I could feel that whole anchor coming back. Oh yeah, it's gross.
Yeah. No, I think I think that the Sahara is going to be a good deal for the conference. I really do. Who knows? It is more expensive, and but I think that what we're going to get in exchange for that more expense is probably going to be worth it. And like
Remains
Scott
to be
said, the
seen.
Orleans is more expensive this year too. So
Yeah.
you know,
So does everything on the strip have to be union then?
I believe so. I believe all the places on the strip are unionized. So that's
They
the way
sure
I
are.
understand it, but it's not my specialty. So, but yeah, I'm definitely going. I can't wait. I think it's going to be amazing. And like I said, the access to the monorail is it's. I mean, I normally spend between $350 and $500 on Ubers while I'm in Vegas.
Where are you going while you're there? Shows and stuff?
Well, I might go to a show, might go down to the strip a couple of times, different
Mhm.
restaurants, whatever, and it doesn't seem like much, but when it's nickel and diming you for 20 or $30 each way every time, it adds up. Of course, I stay there for 11 days. I'm not just there for the weekend. So that makes a difference too. But I figure I'll save enough by having the monorail access for the very, very, I don't know what it is. It said we're getting a discount, but I don't know how much it is. But
And be glad we're not Canadian. Our money's not getting it's not hurting as bad. That's one. Sorry. Just
Yeah, Sean.
who knows what it'll be by then though,
Who knows? Maybe we should scoop up those bitcoins when they drop even more.
You definitely should. I would highly recommend it. I definitely intend. I'm hoping they go down, but I don't think they're gonna go down a whole lot more. But it'd be nice.
All right. I'm gonna head off.
All right, David. Great seeing you.
Yeah, me
All right.
too.
Those
Yep, I'm
East
gonna
Coast
head off
men,
as
they gotta
well.
hit the hay.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have
Have a good night.
a great
Everybody
night.
else have a good night too.
All right, good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Adios,
Have a
folks.
good night.
Bye.
And then there were 4. And Anthony Antonio
I'm like-
trying to turn it off. He's like,
I'm
it
like,
won't go off. It won't go off. But all right, guys, it was great having you in here, Antonio. I hope you can make some more of these.
Yeah, definitely. What's today? Sunday?
Yeah, Sundays.
Oh, so it won't be what time when do you oh no, Sunday's my schedule is switching, but I don't know because I might take a leave of absence because I have to take care of my neighbor, and this might be a perfect way for me to convince myself to just do hypnosis full time, do some niche stuff, get the fuck away from time travel. But it's so hard to get away from time travel. The money's so good sometimes, but
What are you
This is a
doing?
good way. I do timeshare.
Oh, you do timeshares?
Yeah, crime share, slime share.
Yeah, whatever. It
It,
works.
it pays. Do we have some good salespeople, but it's up and down. I love that. I love chasing that high. I'm like, oh, I suck at my job. Then I'm like, then when I get a bit, what, like, if I don't have money, I'm like, man, this industry sucks. It's bullshit. But then when the fucking sales come in, I'm like, oh, I love this shit.
Yeah,
It's the best. It's the best thing ever.
I've been in sales and marketing for a long time. I understand.
Yeah, you're like, I love
Old
this shit.
James over there, he's got himself a set of golden handcuffs too. So
What are your golden handcuffs, James?
That's my day job. Yeah, pays $130 an hour.
What do you do?
I do. I'm a training consultant. It's not always this good. This one is especially good. But yeah, so the whole time I've been learning hypnosis, it was like, oh, I'm guaranteed 40 hours a week times my bill rate, and sometimes 50 or 60, just depends on what's going on. So it was like, oh, I don't see how I could build a practice that would pay me more, but it was the wrong mindset to have, because there's other ways like what Scott's doing and what Bob's doing where you can use it to make money that don't necessarily have to be tied to how many hours you're seeing clients. So
yeah.
I would
trying to
definitely
shift my mindset
recommend
to that.
everybody make digital products.
Yeah.
On my roadmap, I just got a gig that came in from Gig Salad, believe it or not.
Do you have any products, Antonio?
I started making stuff, but a lot of times I'm like, oh, I go to make something, and I'm like, oh, fuck this. I get that imposter bullshit. But right now, I'm just focusing on the book, because with the book, I can actually, conspiracy book, because I can actually get client work from that. I thought about just writing the book, getting them on a squeeze page, got the website set up, and then I can write another book that's specifically like self-care for family members in conspiracy theories, in like QAnon, cults, etc. Because some people, they have to do like no contact with narcissists and just teach them like, hey, because I can frame it to them like this: like, if you change yourself, it'll change how your loved ones react to it.
Yeah.
And even if you don't get them out, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm looking at a couple of different niches. I'm always like jumping.
And I'll tell you, the conspiracy theory niche, man, you can make bank with that, because there are dozens, hundreds of podcasts who would love to interview you.
Yeah.
You get your story down, you get your good one sheet down, and man, you get that book out, and you be going on a bunch of podcasts, and yeah, you could easily make high six figures, maybe even 7 with just that book, let alone clients.
The only problem is you're going to have to be ready to talk about the real conspiracies.
No, but the problem, like, how do I say it? With there's like certain things like that are real, like you take like alien stuff like that. It's like, yeah, I get it, but then people extrapolate to like crazy shit. Like, well, what about the people eating babies? I'm like, whoa, you got to pump the brakes on that one.
Yep.
But it's funny because QAnon, the whole eating babies. They basically just QAnon got smart. Whoever is QAnon got smart by not saying it's the Jews eating babies, because that's not cool anymore. But if you say the Democrats or Hollywood set up pedophiles, that's basically still like a loose nod to freaking Jews are eating babies.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna crank that book out, and then I've got most chapters. I did read a book called if I have it right here, How to Have Impossible Conversations. It's a phenomenal book. It's about street epistemology, how to different like tactics to help somebody reevaluate their beliefs, but not actually talking about their beliefs. But yeah, this book right here. How to have.
Did you listen to the Michael Shermer interview recently on Joe Rogan?
I don't think so.
You should check that one out, because I think he has a book out on conspiracy theories. And he's the guy, he's like from Skeptic Magazine or whatever. And so they go back and forth about some interesting, because Joe's into conspiracies.
What? No, I like Eddie Brock. Dude, I should get. Oh, did you ever see the video when I called out Alex Jones? He was on vacation here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Me and Richard Barker were hiking somewhere. And I'm like, yeah, freaking. Alex Jones is a piece of shit. 6 hours later, I'm like sitting down and I'm like, holy shit, Alex Jones is here. That's when he's like, oh, I'm bankrupt. I have no money. I'm like, you shit. You're on vacation in Hawaii, one of the most expensive resorts. You got money.
Yeah.
But it's funny, James, were you in Lynette's do hypnosis online course?
I think I am.
Yeah, he just did it not too long ago. And like 3 days before, he's okay, people, he's like telling people the assignment was to create like a story about like basically create your origin story. And I was basically talking about that story I said earlier, how I'm like, oh my God, martial law is happening. I'm like, oh shit, they're filming a movie. I'm crazy. I got to stop this. 3 days later, I see Alex Jones, but I froze. If I had thought about that story, that would have been the best marketing ploy. It's to like, hey, Alex, let me tell you a quick story about martial law. And then switch over and be like, and this guy here is a piece of shit. Oh, that would have been perfect. But I might even go for the anti-marketing bit and just, I don't know if I have to talk to a lawyer, but I would like to use the video I got of him and just so maybe transcribe part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll figure it out.
So, parody is protected by the First Amendment. You could always go Alex Jones rant, but in the opposite direction.
Have you ever seen who's that guy on Comedy Central? Jordan Klepner.
I've heard of him.
He does some funny. Well, there's one part where they have this black guy goes to interview, and it wasn't the guy from South Africa. What the guy's name is, but he goes to Alex Jones like rally whatever, and he's like, "You are a crisis act." Dude, he basically used the same logic to him. He's like, "He's not the real Alex Jones. It's a crisis act." Oh, that shit was funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could probably do a parody of it. Well, here I gotta take a shower because I freaking smell like ass. I need to take a shower.
No problem. We're just cutting it off anyways, but all right, we'll talk to y'all later.
Adios. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Have a good night.